Hey folks, welcome to the mini concert. This is number 58, closing in on 60. Hope you'll share with your friends tonight. I'd like to widen the viewers. First song up tonight is a favorite in the Irish pubs. This one first brought to my attention by Jonathan. Said I ought to do it, and I tried it, and I like the song. See if you guys do. Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street, a gentleman Irishman, mighty odd. He had a brogue both rich and sweet, and to rise in the world he carried a hod. Tim had a bit of a tippling way, with a taste for the whiskey he was born. To help him on his wage day, to taste of the crazer every morn. Oh, act for the God, now dance to your partner, round the flue your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. One morning Tim felt rather full, his head was heavy and it made him shake. He fell off the ladder and he broke his skull. They carried him home, his soul to wake. Well, they wrapped him up in a nice clean sheet, laid him down upon the bed, with a barrel of torture at his feet and a bucket of whiskey at his head. Oh, act for the dawn, now dance to your partner, round the flue your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. 10 friends assembled at the wake. Mrs. Finnegan called for lunch. First she served him tea and cake, then pipes, tobacco, and whiskey punch. Well, Biddy O'Brien began to cry. Such a nice clean corpse did you never see. Oh, Timmy Booker, why did you die? Shut your tracks, said Paddy McGee. Oh, act for the dawn, now dance to your partner, round the flue your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Well, Maggie O'Connor took up the job. Biddy, she said, you're wrong, I'm sure. Biddy gave her a punch in the gob, left her sprawling on the floor. Then the war did soon engage. It was woman to woman and man to man, and shillelagh law was all the rage. A row and a ruckus soon began. Oh, act for the God, now dance to your partner, round the flue your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Mickey Maloney ducked his head when a bucket of whiskey flew at him. It missed and landing on the bed, the whiskey scattered over Tim. Look to see how he revives. Tim Finnegan rising from the bed, saying word to whiskey around like blazes, thundering Jesus, do you think I'm dead? Oh, act for the dawn, now dance to your partner, round the flue your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. Act for the dawn, now dance to your partner, round the flue your trotters shake. Wasn't it the truth I told you? Lots of fun at Finnegan's Wake. So that's Finnegan's Wake, not to be confused with the James Joyce book. Second song is, I'm going to be alternating hit favorites from Irish pubs and other kinds of material tonight. So the second song is a Jeannie Ritchie song. It's a little bit similar to John Prine's Paradise, because it talks about the effects of strip mining. come from the mountains, Kentucky's my home, where the wild deer and the black bear so lately did roam. By the clear rushing waterfalls, wildflowers dream, and through every green valley there runs a clear stream. Sad scenes of destruction on every hand, and only black waters run down through the land. Sad scenes of destruction on every hand, black waters running down through the land. Well, the quail is a pretty bird, he sings a sweet song. In the roots of tall timbers, she rests with her young. But then the forest explodes with a dynamite's roar, and the voice of that small bird is heard there no more. Then the mountain comes tumbling, all awesome and grand, and the poisonous waters run over the land. Sad scenes of destruction on every hand, black waters running down through the land. At the start of the springtime, we planted our corn. At the ending of the springtime, we buried the sun. And the summer came, a nice man saying, everything's fine. My employer just requires a way to his mind. But they blew down the timber and they covered my corn, and the grave on the hillside is a mile further down. And the man stands and talks with his hat in his hand as the poisonous waters run over the land. Sad scenes of destruction on every hand, black waters run down through the land. Well, I ain't got no money, not much of a home. I own my own land, but my land's not my home. I had 10 million, some there whereabouts. Well, I'd buy Perry County, drive them all out. And I'd sit by the stream with some braid in a can, and I'd watch the clear waters run down through the land. Wouldn't that be like the old promised land? Black waters no more in my land. Wouldn't that be like the old promised land? Black waters no more in my land. Well, that's Jeannie Ritchie's Black Waters. First heard that song in at a production of Appalachian Christmas Carol, performed by Ohio University grad students back at Athens, Ohio. Next is another favorite from the Irish pubs. Oddly enough, it's a temperance song. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. If you don't like me, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry. And the moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Well, I've been a moonshiner for many's the year, and I spent all me money on whiskey and beer. I go to some hollow and I set up my still. I'll make you a gallon for a 10-shilling bill. 'Cause I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. If you don't like me, leave me alone. Well, I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry, and the moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Oh moonshine, how I love thee. You killed me, poor father, but you can't kill me. Well, I love the moonshiners and I love the moonshine. Their breath is as sweet as the dew on the vine. Oh, I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. If you don't like me, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry, and the moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. Well, I'll go to some hollow in some country, 10 gallons of wash, I can go on a spree. No woman to follow, my life is all mine, and I love none so well as the fruit of the vine. Well, I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, I'm a long way from home. If you don't like me, leave me alone. I'll eat when I'm hungry and I'll drink when I'm dry, and the moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. And the moonshine don't kill me, I'll live till I die. That's the Moonshiner by Anon. Next up is a, I don't know what it is exactly. I guess it's a gospel tune. It's written by a seafaring man who was caught in a storm, and he had a come to Jesus meeting with himself, I guess. Asked for divine intervention to get him out of the storm, and he got out, and he turned his life around. And he also wrote this song. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Was grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many troubles, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that's seen us through thus far, and grace will lead us home. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. shining as the sun. We've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. So that's Amazing Grace. Next up is a tune by a fellow by the name of Eric Bogle. I was doing some research on it today, and I actually found a version that he himself did. Now, he wrote a lot of World War I stuff, but they're not really super old songs. This particular one was written in 1971. I guess that's 50 years, but to me that's not so long ago. And it's about an Australian fella who went to the Battle of Gallipoli, which was in Turkey. It's called "And the Band Played Waltzing Matilda." When I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life of a rover. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I would waltz my Matilda all over. But then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, there's work to be done. And they gave me a tin hat, and they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay. And amidst all the tears, flag waving and cheers, we sailed off for Gallipoli. Well, I'll never forget that terrible day when our blood stained the sands and the water, and how in that hell they call Suvla Bay we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Well, Johnny Turkey was ready, he primed himself well, he rained us with bullets and he showered us with shells. And in 5 minutes flat, we were all blown to hell. It nearly blew us back home to Australia. And the band played Waltzing Matilda, and we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours, and then the Turks buried theirs. Started all over again. For those who remained tried to survive in this mad world of blood, death, and fire. For 10 weary weeks I kept myself alive, while the corpses around me piled fire. Then a big Turkish shell blew me arse overhead, and when I awoke in the hospital bed, seeing what it had done, I wished I was dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying. So no more I'll go waltzing Matilda all around the green bush, far and free. The hump tent and pegs, a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. Well, they gathered the injured, the wounded, the maimed, and they took us back home to Australia. The armless, the legless, the blind, the insane, those proud wounded heroes of Sula. When the ship pulled into Circular Quay, looked at the place where any legs used to be. Thank God there was no one there waiting for me to mourn and to grieve and to pity. And the band played Waltzing, Matilda, and they carried us down the gangway. But nobody cheered, they just stood there and stared. And they turned their faces away. Well, now every April I sit on your porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reliving their days of past glory. While the old men march slowly, all bent, stiff and sore, the forgotten heroes of the forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? And I ask myself the same question. And the band plays Waltzing, Matilda, and the old men still answer the call. Year after year, the numbers get fewer. Soon no one will march here at all. Waltzing, Matilda, Waltzing, Matilda, oh, come a waltzing, Matilda, with me. And their ghosts can be heard as they march by the Billabong. Oh, come a waltzing, Matilda, with me. So that's Eric Vogel's The Band Played Waltzing, Tilda. This song is a little bit more upbeat. About a real live racehorse. There's two very distinct versions of this song. That the American version, popularized by Peter, Paul, and Mary, and then there's a European version that if you're a real aficionado of folk music, you can go look up Steely Dan doing Stewball, which is the name of the song in Europe, but in the US it's called Stewball. Stewball was a racehorse, and I wish he were mine. Never drank water, he always drank wine. Well, his bridle was silver, and his mane it was gold. The worth of his saddle has never been told. Well, the fairgrounds were crowded, and Stewball was there. The betting was heavy on the bay and the mare. Well, I bet on the gray mare, and I bet on the bay, but I bet on old Stewball, be a free man today. 'Cause way out yonder, ahead of them all, came a dancing and a prancing, my noble Stewball. cow, she hollered, and the turtle dove moaned, for a poor boy in trouble on a long way from home. Stewball was a racehorse, and I wish he were mine. Never drank water, he always drank wine. So that's Stewball, and that's mini concert number 58. I will see you next week, mini concert number 59 at 7:30.